everybody, and welcome back to All the Mods 7 to the Sky. In this episode, as you can see, we start FTB industrial contraptions, the automation set up for like a compressor and extruder, and then we also set up antimatter production. And this thing is extremely fast, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, so today we're going to be working on FTB industrial contraptions. For one particular reason, we need the antimatter that is from the mod. This antimatter is going to be used for making the pulsating black hole and I think the philosopher's fuel, in the pressurized chamber. So we need to work on getting this now today, but there's a few steps we have to go through. One of those steps were getting ourselves the actual antimatter constructor, reprocessor, and whatever, but the antimatter constructor required iridium. And last episode we went ahead and we set up ore drilling in the end, the overworld, the other, and in the Twilight Forest. And wow, those things are going crazy. I'll go over those now in a second, because we have plenty of ethercast and everything built up now, but I was asking how do we get more pink slime, and you mentioned that you use passive mobs. So we got 91,000 buckets in here, and I set up a cow spawner in here, and that's just creating us plenty of pink slime now. That's great. So since last episode when we set up the things, well, let's just see. If we look up raw now, you can see 61,000 raw vibranium ore, 57,000 unobtainium ore, and 32,000 aldemodium. We're not getting us aldemodium as much because there's a lot of other stuff coming in with it. You can see nickel, uranium, silver, iron, and tin and all that. And even a bit of gold. But in the other, since it's such a high up area, the mining level, nothing else really is able to be gotten at that level. So vibranium is more or less saturated the entire miner's ability to mine stuff. And aldemodium, like I said, is everything, and the end is pretty much mining everything, I think, as well as a bunch of obsidian. This thing is mining so much obsidian as well, more obsidian than anything else. But the thing I did notice is I did accidentally put the one in the end in the wrong spot. If we go to the end here now, I did have it right here, but I was thinking in my mind when I set the thing up for iridium, which can be anywhere in the end, but for unobtainium, we have to put in the highlands. So I just flew all the way over here and set it up there. So it's in the highlands and it's mining us unobtainium now, which is great. So we don't have to worry about it. And since it can be anywhere in the end to mine iridium, we got 12,000 of it. So we don't really need to do the energy condenser. And I'm kind of looking at it do we even bother trying to set up the energy condenser? Because there is only one or two things we kind of do need from it if we are going to set it up, because it'll just save me setting up production for it. And that's going to be for the dimensional seed. We need a bunch of endstone. And endstone is EMCable. So we need endstone. We're going to need, I think we have plenty of gravel. We need red sand, obsidian, netherrack, blackstone. Actually, no, obsidian's fine. Soul sand, red sand, blackstone, endstone, and netherrack. And I think I have production for clay, but there's no harm in making more. So yeah, that's what I need to look into. Either set up a production for each one of those, or we just set up a condenser and just create a bunch of it, which would be the easiest process if we want to get through this ATM star the fastest. And speaking of which, we need a location to build this star now. So I'm thinking of expanding the platform out this way. So another platform right there, and that's just going to be for the mechanical crafters for the star. To the right of it, then we're going to set up create. So we'll have our stress production and automated assembly lines and whatever if we need that. Probably for making a bunch of brass casings and whatever else. Mainly just to get rotational power over there. I don't think we need really much from create. We need to expand out this way, and then I'm going to put, I think I was going to put pneumatic craft here. And I want to set up better ore production, so I'm going to expand the platform out this way and use the bottom level for just sulfuric acid production, and then we can just pump that up and use it in the machines above. That means it'll free up this platform here. So I'm going to set up an occultism ritual right there for making the soul things. I think it's for the black hole, or is it the dragon soul? Dragon soul. Yeah, we need the soul gems. So I'll set up the ritual there to craft it, and then over along this wall here, we'll set up Ars Nouveau, because we're going to need a scribe's table for making the wither glyphs, and yeah, I want a little bit of a space for that. Another thing we need to actually come up with is better production for antimatter. You might have noticed I moved the portal over here. We're not producing much at all. If we want to actually up our antimatter production, we're going to need to increase the size of this reactor or add multiple reactors to it. We could put another reactor right there and then just run the lines over, but that might just cause some issues. So we have the option to pretty much move all of this stuff here and expand this thing to size right here. We might need to move these two evaporation towers as well. But if we were to build a massive one here, that will allow us to produce a lot more antimatter. So we'll save that for another episode, but I think it is something we will have to do because I was looking at the calculations for how many stars we're going to need and the amount of antimatter we're going to need. And I was looking at, because the whole idea was to set up like everything, well, not everything, but like close to everything and get ourselves the ATM star block. Because the block would then be used on the B to make the ATM B, and then that B can make us like infinite stars just by getting the shards. There's only a 5% chance, but whatever. But I did notice something. To get the starry B, I need a Patrick B, and the Patrick B is fished in a warm ocean. Well, there's a bit of a problem because there's no warm oceans in the skyblock. So I thought I could just like fly out somewhere, build a bit of a pool of water and then fish. But I built myself a nature's compass and I searched the area and well, there is absolutely no warm oceans anywhere nearby. So that whole plan is gone. We won't be able to do the block anymore. So if that's the case, the amount of things we're going to be crafting using the ATM star is the everlasting guilty pool, creative source jar, creative motor, creative blaze cake, creative compressor, creative compressed iron block, and a creative energy cube. And then some extra flux efficiencies to, well, of course, make the thing like thermal machines go way quicker. They just require the shards. So we just need one and we can make 5 of them. So I'm thinking of aiming for 10 stars, which should be a good number. Before, I think we need like 13 or something like that, but 10 should be a good number. And it'll give us a few extra stars left over and 1 to display, which would be good. So yeah, that's the plan. And since we're going to need that many, we're going to need probably more than over 100 antimatter pellets. And so far, after AFKing for like 2 nights, we only managed to get about 6 pellets, which is not enough. And it's not fast enough. So I want to upgrade the antimatter production. So we'll probably do that maybe next episode if there's nothing else we run into now today. So let's begin. We need to start by getting ourselves power here and set up automation for some of the basic machines. So we have ourselves 3 machines right here. The basic generator can go away. We don't need that. So we have an extruder, and the extruder is pretty much just going to be used to make rods because we need rods, of course, for some machines. The other things we're going to need then is the rolling machine, which is going to be used to make plates, which, yeah, I think we already have a setup for plates, so I don't think we really need the rolling machine. I think I made that at the start to make ourselves our vibranium and aluminium tools. So pretty much all we just need is an extruder to begin with. We're going to need ourselves a compressor, so let's do that. We'll probably need a couple of these guys because a compressor is used for a couple of things. We're going to need to make compressed coal balls. We're going to need it to make there's something else in here. Oh yeah, carbon plates. So we're probably just going to like mix everything around and have a couple of these compressors now set up. So the question is, do we set the compressors up down here? It would be more beneficial if we did because we could just hook it directly up into these pattern providers here. But then we run into the issue that there is no power down here because my plan is to use solar power to run these guys. So we'd need to run a power cable down, which won't be much of an issue. Like if we did it straight here, we could just run the power cable directly down and connect it into the top and then just put the pattern provider underneath the machine. But that will just cause more issues. So instead, what if we just run the pattern provider underneath the machine and then just connect the power cable across the top? So that's the plan. So let's start by getting ourselves out some cable. We're probably just going to need a bunch of dense cable, pattern providers, and I think we can go from there. So we'll start in the corner. So here's this part, and I'm just going to run this dense cable the whole way across. There we go. So pattern provider is going to go there, and then the compressor is going to go on top. Now, the thing is, this machine here probably won't work straight away because of the amount of power it's going to require. Well, it is only a low voltage machine, so it should be fine. But the other thing we need to be careful of then is when we add higher power to it. So we can start off with making ourselves a simple low voltage solar panel. So let's go make a pattern for that since it'd be easy. So let's just start off by setting out the whole pattern. Everything here is crafted except for the basic generator. Everything there is crafted but the iron furnace. The iron furnace is crafted like that. The only other thing then we're missing is the LV battery, which is made like that, and we're crafting everything else. Perfect. So we can just stick this in here, and I did all make the pattern for the seed as well, so we can get onto that now soon. The other thing I'm actually starting to notice is we're starting to run out of patterns here. I thought we had probably way more than enough patterns to last us the rest of the series, but this is pretty much all we have left. So we have an option of expanding the platform. Once we go that direction, underneath the ATM star, we just use that platform for more molecular assemblers, or we try and hook up more on top of this guy. But the problem is we can't really go higher because then we're clipping into the cable, and the way I have it routed here with P2P tunnels, it won't really work. Because it'll be touching the top and touching the P2P cable, so it won't work. So unless I just hook it onto the back of it, I don't know what way we're going to hook it up at the moment. But I think once we expand the platform out, which I'm thinking of doing that all on a live stream to build the extra platforms, once we have that, we'll probably look into setting up the extra automation over there. So where am I going? Oh yeah, up top. So we'll just start off with an LV. So LV solar panel. So just make me one of those. It should be very quick. There we go. And LV cable should be more than enough for now. So if we just say solar panel here, run the power cable like this guy here should be getting power. Actually, it won't because it is nighttime, so we need to sleep. All right, daytime now, so let's see if we are generating any power. Yes, we are. It's very slow, but it might increase more into the day it gets. So to begin with, we can actually make ourselves a few upgrades. So let's come down here and have a look at this. So we're going to need overclocker upgrades. So they're made like that. We're going to need ourselves transformer upgrades. Transformer upgrades are just used so we can actually like use higher levels of power in a machine that doesn't actually have it by default. So by looking in the book here, I was reading to make sure I'm thinking of this right. The transformer upgrade allows machines to accept higher voltage currents, each increase the tier by 1. So if we add 2 of them into it, it should be able to accept high voltage. Now I don't know what EV is, but you can see it's a drastic jump from 64 zaps per tick, I think it's named, to EV, which is 512 zaps a tick. So I don't know if I need like 3 transformers for that. But each machine says like it can handle something like this guy here. Maximum input is 32. So it should be able to handle an MV one, but you'd need to have 1 transformer to accept a high voltage. But the Antimatter constructor can handle an EV, no problem. It can probably handle about 10 of them. So we should have no issue with that. And this guy here, the reprocessor, can't handle an EV solar panel, so I'd need to add 1 transformer upgrade in there to be able to support it. So yeah, it's pretty simple like that. So the transformer upgrade is made like that. We need MV cable, which is just, I think, yeah, aluminium and rubber. What else do we need now? So we need our MV transformer. That's made like that. And then I think after that, then I don't think there's much else. Everything else here is crafted. So, and then the other last thing we need then is an ejector upgrade. That will just make it so it'll push out on all sides and it'll go back into the actual pattern provider and go back into the system. So we don't have to route any pipes, which is good. Now, the other thing is for the overclocker, we're going to need a few extra things. So the overclocker here requires these small coolant cells. Now, that's easy enough to make, but you do need fluid cells of water. And the only way to get fluid cells of water is either by getting fluid cells. I was testing, I think, to see how I can pick up a few. And there is only like 2 ways we can do this. One is we just sit here and collect a bunch of them manually. Or we have to use create and a spout to actually pump water into these guys. Because there's no other way to fill them. Like we can't use a fluid encapsulator or anything else. So I noticed you could just like click them on a sink and it's fine. So if I just like sit here and look up a fluid cell, I don't know, just make myself a ton of them like that and then just fill them all up. There we go. They're all back in the system now. So did I make the pattern for it already or am I holding the pattern? No, I don't think I made the pattern because I was doing it by hand. So let's just quickly double check. No, I didn't make the pattern. Okay. So using the fluid cell now, we can do this. And stick those in here. And yeah, it's pretty much ready to go. So we can just make all the upgrades now when we need them. So perfect. So back up here now. The other thing we're going to have to set up then is the patterns in here. So these patterns here, I made, I think like last episode because I thought I was going to do it, but then we had to go through the whole industrial foregoing stuff. But yeah, and also I managed to actually get a wandering trader spawn egg, which is funny because this guy would not leave me alone. He just kept showing up. So yeah. Right, so for the compressor, the first ingredient then is coal balls into compressed coal balls, and then that coal ball makes graphite, and then that graphite is compressed into a diamond. Okay, no. Oh, the graphite is used for HD solar panels. So in here then, we just need this, which is going to make that, and then carbon plate. Let me just double check that. So carbon plate is also made in a compressor using fiber, so that can go in there too. Okay, so are these called upgrades? Yeah, they're called upgrades. Upgrade. We just need to grab ourselves out a couple overclockers. So we'll just make 10 for now. Oh, I never looked at that recipe, so I'm going to have to go back and fix that. Wait, are the rest of them also going to require rubber sheets? Say an injector upgrade. Oh yeah, that one doesn't require that. So make me, I don't know, 10 ejector upgrades. Make me 10 transformer. Okay, yeah, they both need rubber sheets. So let's go see how we make those. Why is it asking for rubber sheets? I don't see rubber sheets needed for anything in here. Huh? Hang on a second. Why is it asking for rubber sheets? That's not a rubber sheet. So why is it requiring a rubber sheet for 10? Is there something I'm missing? Is it trying to use the excess? Did I mess up a recipe or something? Why is it asking for rubber sheets when rubber sheets aren't even needed? Oh, I must have set up the pattern for rubber wrong, so it requires rubber sheets to make rubber. Did I do that by accident? Where's my rubber sheet pattern? Can I search rubber? No. Okay, why? Okay. So I have a pattern for rubber, so how do I make it? A rubber sheet. Okay, something's wrong here. Okay, here we go. Vibranium furnace. Okay, yeah, I must have set up the pattern wrong here. Let's try that again. So rubber is smelted slime, and that goes all the way down here in the furnace. So that in there. Now if we try it again and look up upgrade, we should be able to make the 10 overclockers. Yep, and we should be able to make the 10 transformer upgrades. Perfect. And you know what, while I'm here, let me also make the other solar panel patterns. Right, that should be set up now. So we got all the solar panel patterns. So let's start by just finishing up the rest of this now. So let's just work our way back. So for antimatter constructor, so antimatter constructor, what we are missing? Iridium and iron rods. Okay, so to make the iron rods, I have the pattern here. So iron rod, I think that we actually do need the rolling machine. Yeah, okay, no, it's the extruder. Yeah, so I have that machine. So we need to hook that up here as well. So let's remove this cable. This guy is 32 as well, so we can just hook this guy up here. We can add a pattern provider underneath them here, like that, and stick that pattern down in here now. So let's grab out our upgrades, so upgrade, and let's grab out all of the upgrades here now. So you are going to get an ejection upgrade. Oh wait, these things stack? Oh, that makes it so much easier. So you get an ejector upgrade, perfect, and we can just cover up the floor now. And you have an ejector upgrade, and okay, you can hold to a maximum of 4 overclockers. That's okay. Now we want to upgrade this thing here to have the highest levels. We can start with LV. If we add one in, we get MV, add another one, HV. So if we add 2 transformer upgrades in each one of these guys, we should be able to use a HV solar panel. So HV solar panel, and we'll just make 1 for now. Oh yeah, the iridium alloy. What am I missing for that? Iridium advanced alloy. Okay, maybe if I just set up like basic crushing for it, just to double the ore for now, we should be fine. So iridium usage. Where can we crush it? Can we crush it in a enrichment chamber? Okay, an enrichment chamber using 3 makes 4, so we'll just do this for now and then just smelt it, because why not? So we just need an enrichment chamber that's not being used. Yeah, I think it's this one here. So you use that there, and then a furnace here. Perfect. So now if we were to actually look up the antimatter constructor, we should be able to craft it. We only need 1. Still, oh wait, I need to actually make the actual pattern for the iridium alloy. So the alloy is made like this. There we go. And I can just stick this in, I don't know, here. There we go. So antimatter now, we should be able to craft this. Hopefully it's working. Yeah, you can see the process is going through here. As you can see, it's making the compressed coal now. So if we have a look in here, it's probably not going to be working. Yeah, because we're out of power now. ELV cable. Okay, good. I can just break the machine. What am I missing for the HV? So HV, solar panel, craft. Yeah, it requires all that then as well. Can I just stick this here and it'll eject out on both sides? I think I can. Okay, hang on. Let me just sleep again. Is this working? Yes, it is. Is there energy upgrades to make this run a bit better? Hang on, FTB. There is energy storage upgrades. So I wonder, would this make it work better? Or maybe I wonder, can I use an acceleration upgrade on the solar panel? Give these guys enough power? It looks like it's working. Yeah, I can use an acceleration upgrade to make this thing better. Oh, and it has an internal buffer as well, so that's perfect. Does this guy accept upgrades? No. But it should be fine. Only a couple more speeds now, and we should have everything for it. Okay, we have the Antimatter constructor and the HV solar panel. So here's the real test now. If we put the HV solar panel right here, does anything explode? No, but if I take out these transformer upgrades, I think it will. Yeah, so this guy outputs 64, and the LV only outputs 1. Yeah, it's a really small comparison. Usage is 2. Max input is 32. Actually, this is only 64, so we only needed 1 upgrade, actually, I'd say. Does this thing tell me how much it can support? No idea. But just to be on the safe side, I think we should just add as many transform upgrades into it as we can. So, perfect. So, I can just leave a solar panel here, and it'd be fine. And it means we can probably stick another one here. But I don't think we need anything else other than these machines now. So, if we look up reprocessor, I'm probably going to need like a bunch of these guys now. And we're going to hook them all up together and then just use pipes to pump items in. And I think this is where we might use like an energy condenser just to like burn through stuff. So maybe just stick like, I don't know, a bunch of nether stars in a condenser and just let it make cobblestone and pump it into the antimatter constructor. So I think we'll just go with that. So let's say the antimatter, so antimatter constructor is going to go here. And then the reprocessors can go all the way along here. And I think before it inputs into this guy here, we're going to turn the scrap that we're going to make into scrap boxes. So we're just going to need ourselves an actual like crafter. So if we just look up a crafter here, we should be able to make a RF tools one. Yeah, so just a basic one here. Done. And all we have to do now is just grab out a bunch of pipes. So item pipes, and we can route everything underneath. So we can pump in the top, output out the bottom, and we should be good then. So we can stick the crafter right here. Say, does this go across like that and extract from the top? Let me just grab out my pipe wrench, and we'll just use maximum pipe upgrades because why not? So that will pull any recipe that we have in here out and pump it into you, and then we can have like, I don't know, our provider at the bottom pulling all the stuff out. So we just say break that there, break this here, and we'll just run the cable across. Or as an interface. I really want to know how these things work, but I think if you just put it there and it'll just pump anything down and it'll go into the system. I think. I don't know if this thing only provides items or you can input items and it'll go into the system. Yeah, I'm going to have to like see if this works because I'd like to know how this thing works. So antimatter, oh wait, this thing doesn't have an eject upgrade, so never mind. We're just going to have to go with an importer. So importer, smart cable, and you know what? We'll give it acceleration upgrades because why not? There we go. And I think we're good. Right. Now, have we made the reprocessors? Oh yeah, I was going to count how many I needed. I don't think I need this anymore, so I can put all this stuff away. There we go. So let's say we give it 1 block gap. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I need to make sure I have the space here for the path. So that's going to be like this, going out that way. So we'll just call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we can double it up then as well. So we'll look about maybe 20 of them. And now we just sit here and wait. Actually, you know what? That was really quick. Never mind. We don't really have to wait. So reprocessors, we need to provide these things with power and items. So what would be the best way to route everything? I don't think XNet can use the Zap's power. So we're probably just going to have to run a cable through the bottom and then just route item pipes around the top and middle or something like that. Yeah, we can run the power cable up like this and just leave a solar panel on top. So we just run it like this, and then we just grab item pipes, and we'll just put item pipes in the center here like this. And then we'll just set up these ones on top of it now as well. How did I miscount this? Oh, did I include that block there? That's probably why. You know what? This is probably more than enough for now. I don't think we need much antimatter, unlike the antimatter from Mechanism. So, like looking at in here, antimatter is only used for making either the solar panels, the pulsating black hole, and the philosopher's fuel. So, if anything, minimum, we're only going to need 20 of them. So, this should be more than enough. I don't need it for nukes. No. All right, perfect. So all we have to do now is let's see if a cobblestone generator will be more than enough to run this thing. If not, we'll upgrade it to something else. All right, a cobblestone generator tier 5. Should be able to put this here and then just use extraction or pipe, extractor, and actual pipe. So stick this here, tell it to extract, give it the upgrade, and everything... Okay, everything pulsed, but... Yeah, okay. You know what? This one actually might be good enough. But it depends on how fast it goes now when we add upgrades. So let's just dig underneath this thing here now, because now we need to provide it all with power. And these guys, I didn't actually check, but what kind of power input can they support? 128. So they should be able to support 2 high voltage solar panels. And I think there's also this glass fiber cable. Let's have a look here. Or do I have to go to add FTB to find this? IV cable is what it's called. This can input 8,000 things and allows one-way conversion. Wait, allows one-way conversion. Oh. Interesting. Anyway, energy crystal. I don't know, just make with 20 of them. This cable here, just make a bunch of these. Let's see if this works. Oh. Okay, I didn't know you can actually connect it to an actual machine, so we might not need to provide this thing here with a point. So that will save us. The other thing we do actually need to do is actually all the items that this thing here is going to be exporting. I completely forgot about that. And we're going to have to somehow pump all that into this crafter here. How am I going to do that now without causing a mess? The only thing I can think of is pulling it out the front. Like that. There we go. So we'll just tell it everything here to extract. Right. I think that's more or less it now. So all I have to do... I think it's just give it power. So high voltage solar panel any day now. What are we waiting on? Generators. Okay. There we go. HV solar panel. I should be able to stick this in the corner here and they all should go online. Yep. And of course it is turning nighttime now, so none of them are going to work. So let's sleep. All right, cool. They should be all coming back online now. So that's perfect. So the only thing I need to give them now is a bunch of overclockers. So if each one can hold 4, and how many machines do I have down here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 16. Yeah, I have about 16 upgrades. So yeah, I'm going to need like 64 of these things. All right, last 2 machines and perfect. So you can see they're still not getting enough power. So I might need to add more HV solar panels onto this thing. So make me 2 more of these. And see if that works. I don't know if increasing the amount of solar panels increases the amount of power it's going to be using, so it might be a good idea for me to add a couple more transform upgrades into this thing now as well. Just to be on the safe side. It probably doesn't need it, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I think 2 transform upgrades in each one should be more than enough. All right, we should have our last 2 solar panels now any second, I think. What are we waiting on? Carbon plates. Yeah, okay. You know what? This guy here can actually have even more overclockers in him. So I'm just going to make like an extra 2. And that should double up the power then. So we should be able to stick these on right here. And is it getting enough power now? Still not. So, and taking out the upgrade doesn't cause any issues. So I don't think that matters as much. So it doesn't stack the power. It just outputs more of the same voltage. Cool. Okay, so EV solar panel seems to be the one we're going to have to upgrade to if we want this thing to run at any kind of speed we need. Unless sticking a point onto this thing, I could be making a massive mistake right now, but can I do this? No, okay, I was kind of skeptical about that, but at least we can't do it. All right, but anyway, we are making scrap as you can see. So we just turned this here into some scrap boxes. apply. That will craft the scrap box, and then it'll output into the Antimatter constructor, which also requires power. So we're going to have to give this thing probably its own EV solar panel. Yeah, we can stick it its own EV solar panel here. We just need one thing. So you know what? Just give me out some of the glass cable for now, and we'll just run the power up like this, just to give it some power. Yeah, there we go. It requires 1 million zaps to make one antimatter. And the scrap box here also increases their chances of getting a lot more, so it's good. Turn on fast mode, and this thing here is getting powered thanks to this IV cable as well. So that's pretty much it then. We pretty much have like constant antimatter production now. We only need, like I said, about 20 of it, but any more would be extra for making solar panels. Are we okay with the amount of... Okay, we're probably just going to need a lot more solar panels. So if I just look up HV solar panel, make me 10 of them, and I'll just hook those all up and see if that makes a difference. So give me a moment while they craft. All right, the 10 solar panels are done now, so let's just see if this makes any difference. That really does not make any difference at all. Yeah, there's basically no difference at all here. I'm just going to stick these on as well, because when I'm trying to accelerate these things, they're not transferring enough power. Now, I don't know if it's just because of the IV cable. I don't know if that cable actually is just not transferring enough power. Like, actually, do these guys have power built up inside them? Okay, the power is actually building up in it, so it means it's not exporting out the power fast enough. So if we go back to FTB Industrial Contraptions, the best cable we could probably make is this EV cable. Actually, no, the IV cable's the best. Yeah, max input is 8,000. So this IV cable is the best, but it doesn't seem to be transferring the power fast enough. Right. I think actually maybe once this thing is clear, they're completely filled, it might work better. Let me just max these guys out. Okay, yeah, by maxing out the power, you can see these guys here were full, but they're now draining. So yeah, I don't know if that's an issue or not. I guess I could just sit here and just accelerate them all. It's probably not going to work as much now since it is turning nighttime. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait until we make one antimatter and then hook up those cables. Or hook up the new EV solar panels. So yeah, I guess I'll just sit here and wait. We're halfway there at least anyway, or at least nearly halfway, so shouldn't be too much longer now. Okay, this whole time I thought I was still making one. Apparently I've already made 10 or 11. Okay, I didn't realize I made that much already, so let's break these solar panels here, throw them in the system, and now if we look up solar, we should be able to make ourselves a pretty good EV one. Let's make ourselves, I don't know, 2. Should have no issues making that now. So let's just check in here what the things we need. So it's making the coal and the rubber. It's scheduled the 2 of those carbon plates. Okay, it shouldn't be too long then. Just waiting on the rubber, and then that's the last thing I think it needs. And there we go. So with 2 EV solar panels, don't explode. Okay. Power is going up like crazy. These guys here are still struggling, but they're not actually that bad. Yeah. You know what? Since we already made that much, I'm not too worried about it. These guys here have 2 transformer upgrades. They're able to support a HV on 1 upgrade, I think. So do we attach an EV? That seems to have worked. So, all right, perfect. So we can stick an EV back down here. And yeah, you know what? It can stay like that. It's fine. So there we go. So now we are starting to produce this type of antimatter, and it is great. So all we have to do now is upgrade our mechanism antimatter production, and we should be sorted then. So is actually this cobblestone generator handling it all? Oh yeah, easily. So I might just need to upgrade like the power in this guy. I don't know if like transformer upgrades is the issue, or do I need to add more of them? Or do I just need to add energy upgrades into these guys? But I mean, those energy upgrades I saw were mainly just to increase the capacity of the power. So I don't know. But anyway, it's more than enough. You can see we are still making even more scrap faster than we were before. And it is slowly generating us all of the antimatter now. We should see one actually very soon. Can I accelerate it actually? I don't know if accelerating it here will make it go any quicker. Yeah, I think it's mainly the solar panel I need to accelerate to make everything here go the quickest. Yep, it pretty much reset it now. Oh my god, it made 13 antimatter? We had 9, so you're telling me it just made 4 antimatter in one go? And it used up all the scrap boxes. There were 6 of them in here. So you're telling me it made 4 antimatter just because we had 6 scrap boxes? Damn. Okay, well, we don't have to worry about this anymore. We still actually have a lot more room than I thought we would have. I was kind of worried that we weren't going to have any room on this place because of how many reprocessors we're going to have. But no, we have still plenty of room. So what do we do right here? I mean, we could easily do pneumatic craft right here, but I think I'll do it on its own square because I'll have an entire back room because I do need to have a pathway going into it here now. So I guess I'll wait until I build the platform over there now. But yeah, there's probably something we can fit right here. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll eventually figure it out. I think there might be something else from the sky because we are going to need like a nuke. So I don't know if like we need like all this uranium stuff though. Yeah, we're still going to need like a canning machine, but the canning machine can easily fit right there. So I don't know. We'll do that now when we get into it now. Probably like episode after. We'll probably just dedicate a whole episode to finally generating up all the rest of these ingredients. But yeah. So I'm going to end it there. Hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget that like button, subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell while you're at it then as well. So without any further ado, goodbye.